Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today I have a very exciting video. Happy day for me and 5rad4 staff. We took a game off EG, which we're very proud of. You know, at the end of the day, everyone on my team and everyone on 5rad is currently at a place where we're trying to get to the level of these pro players and be able to take them down consistently. So this is obviously a good starting point. And yeah, I wanted to bring you guys an analysis of the game, talk to you about how we managed to beat EG. So I'm going to be going through every little thing that goes through my head, except for I guess some like small strategy things that I don't want to share, but either way, hopefully you guys are excited for this video, or as excited as I am. We're going to start with a quick and very brief draft analysis and then head into the game, which we'll be watching my perspective from. Also, I want to tell you guys that if you've been struggling with solo queue and you're looking to get to the next rank, I'm going to be able to help you. Like literally with the Game Leap website, I'm going to give you guys guides that are going to make it unbelievably clear on what you need to do. So if you've been stuck in the solo queue grind, you don't know what to do, and you want to become absolutely broken, but like actually you want to become much better at Dota, and you want to take it more seriously, the Game Leap website is going to help you do that. So click the link down below. I'm going to help you get to the next rank, and I'll see you there. Okay, so starting off with the draft, they led with Rubik. We went Nature's Prophet and Dying. We just felt that this gave us strong lanes. We didn't want to lose lanes to EG. They're very good laning players, and we felt that if we lost lanes, the game could get pretty hard in the mid game. So it gives us a good opener, and we flex Nature's Prophet and we flex Undying. We play both of these heroes in multiple roles, so it's very hard for them to draft against it, just in general, right? It's good lanes and flexible, so basically hard for them to draft. They go for Batrider, understandable. We have no stun between these two heroes, and it's generally counter to Nature's Prophet, who relies on BKB to stay alive. From there, we pick Pangolier. We just believe Pangolier is pretty good against Batrider. The tempo of the Diffusal Blade always comes out before Batrider's BKB, and therefore you can actually play a pretty good tempo against Batrider mid-game. Like, before Batrider hits his BKB, if he decides to go BKB, he actually has a bit of a hard time against Pango in the mid-game. You just have to get through the lane, which Red 2 ended up doing great in the lane this game, so it really paid off for us. It's also Red's best hero, so which I think everyone who is watching understands that at this point. It's definitely his best hero, so we were happy to get him the Pangolier, for sure. They go for Marcy. They did this to game 1 as well. They pick it into Nature's Prophet. It was literally the first same 5 picks as game 1. They pick Marcy. It's a hero that outmans up Nature's Prophet. Even if you're losing and you're down like 5k net worth, you actually outman up Nature's Prophet. So basically, it's a good laner and it wins the carry matchup. I think that's the main thought process for Shopify here, right? They don't get to see their lane because they're on first pick, and they think it mans up well to NP. And if it's NP offlane, it also does pretty good in that lane too. There's a couple of kill lanes you can even draft. So I definitely like the Marcy from Shopify. I fully understand it. I definitely get the vibe. Then they go for Darkseer, which I thought was risky. The reason why I thought Darkseer was risky is he's potentially laning into Undying Nature's Prophet, and they don't get to pick their position 4. What I mean by that is we're about to have 2 bans, and we can ban the best pairings of Darkseer, which I think there are a couple heroes that really enable Darkseer to do well. The main ones being, I've seen Riki do pretty well, but I think the main one is really Clockwork. I think Clockwork outshines every other position forward Darkseer by a long shot, and that's my experience with the hero. I'm sure some other people might disagree, but I think in terms of the lane and strictly the lane, Clockwork is the best by far. It's just the most kill potential and the most threatening hero with Ion Shell throughout almost the entirety of the game, just because of how much damage you can do with Battery Assault and so on. So they go for Darkseer, which, I mean, I just don't really get it. The copy of Nature's Prophet's kind of underwhelming. I feel like it might have a hard lane. I just frankly guess it's like a tempo thing, but I don't get it. I'm just being straight up. I really do not fully understand it. I think they just think it will lane okay into NP and they can push in waves against us. I really was struggling to fully understand this one. It just didn't feel very threatening to us. We go for the Nyx Assassin, and I think it's a pretty clear Nyx Assassin draft. We lack a setup stun, which you don't have to pick setup stuns in Dota, but it tends to make the game easier to play. It's a nice thing to have on average, and the Nyx Assassin is just fantastic here. Our position 4 player Moose was asking for it. Took us a bit of time to pick it. We weren't sure what we wanted, but when he came with the Nyx pick, it was definitely something that we thought looked cool. It reflects, you can stun off the Ion Shell, you can stun off the Batrider, you can stun off Marcy. You have a lot of value, even Rubik spells, right? So you have a lot of value out of the Carapace, and it's a good setup stun for us. On top of that, one of the nice things about second pick, which we're on second pick here, is I'm going to be able to counterpick my lane. So even though Nyx Assassin isn't a great laner, I can pick for the lane and make sure I have a good enough matchup, even though they're going to get banned. I can make sure I have a good enough matchup. Basically, he can roam, and I don't need like a lane dominator with me. Because Nyx Assassin, the nice thing about the hero is it dominates the mid game, but it's kind of garbage in the lane. And so it's like, can we get through the laning stage, right? Can we make it through the laning stage? If we can, okay, right? We're in a good place. But If you can't, well, obviously you're in a bad spot. But we have a good safe lane and we have last pick, so I think a greedier position 4 makes a lot of sense here. We would have loved something like Ricky as well. That would have been great too, but of course that was banned out first phase. So to finish off the draft, they go for the Earth Spirit, which, you know, I get it. I think it's okay. It's like kind of questionable against Nyx because when you roll in, or if you roll at him, he can carapace potentially. The silence is very good this game. I'll give them that. Like instant silence against Pango and potentially Nyx is good. It just doesn't lane that well into Undying at all. Like, obviously you're not picking to win the lane at this point, but I really don't think it's a great Ion Shell pairing because the hero just doesn't live. Like, shelling something like, let's say Tusk, right? You can snowball and buy time. Spirit Breaker has Bulldoze. Clockwork has like Cogs, and it just does more damage early on. I just think in terms of the pairings with Earth Spirit, this is one of the worst. I mean, Darkseer, I really just think it's garbage. You don't have an real AoE spell to synergize. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have an AoE stun. Let me rephrase. You obviously have AoE spells, but you don't have an AoE stun, so you don't have a true synergy with the vacuum, and I just don't think it's the best shell carrier. I really don't. I think this was them saying, okay, a lot of the other, because we banned out Spirit Breaker, and we banned out Clockwork, and Ricky is banned, and we picked Nyx. So, like, they could have picked Tusk, which I think honestly would have been better. I probably would have picked Tusk, but it's Crit's best hero, one of his best heroes, so I get it, and we go for the Death Prophet. The reason why we go for DP here is it should lane well into Marcy. It can actually get bursted by Marcy in the mid game, maybe, which was like my only concern about picking it, but I felt that my game should be good enough where I could get the items where that would be hard for her, which are Grief's Halberd. I felt that I could get to that point. And so yeah, it's just a good lane against Marcy. It doesn't own her early on by any means. She can hop away from the Spirit Siphons, but at some point, it's just like DP against a melee hero that can't burst her. You're gonna be able to zone the enemy off the lane at some point, and that's what happened. I didn't beat him early on, but I beat arteezy eventually, and that's kind of how it goes. It's almost what you would expect. So yeah, they also just lack burst damage. No burst damage, low duration stun, no stun, hard to hit stun. Ultimate stun, lift is honestly a low duration stun. They don't have a great way. They could chain stun me. It's hard though. It really is hard. So I felt that their draft is actually quite bad against DP in that regard. However, I can see both perspectives for both teams. I think this Marcy could certainly carry the game at some point. We definitely don't have that many stuns for the Marcy potentially. So I really can see the Marcy potentially popping off this game. All right, so for the early laning stage, it's really nothing crazy. I'm just going to be nuking melee creeps and harassing the Marcy. As I said, Marcy's pretty good in lane, and just because she's a melee hero and she Qs you and then clicks you. But all I have to do is just focus on getting good last hits, and, you know, I go 2-0 and he keeps tossing me in, but whatever, it was off the creep wave. Unfortunately, I did miss 2 CS in that wave, which I should have been perfect, but it is what it is. It happens. As I said, all I have to do in this lane is just draw even. We didn't pick to, like, dominate. If we did that, I would have a different position 4 hero, like 100%. So if we were picking for the lanes, we wouldn't have picked Nyx. We're picking him for the game. I don't expect to dominate the lane because I have an Nyx Assassin. Not that you can't win the lane with Nyx Assassin. It's just way, way harder than, some of the other, a hero like Clockwork, right? Has way more presence in the laning stage. So the big thing is I'm waiting for my level 3. At this point, all I'm doing is playing for CS. I have my double mango, which is primarily just for the regen, honestly, so I can't get pushed out of the lane before I hit level 3. It's just good for that, as, it's a little bit hard to last out under towers, so they were doing a good job of denying up a lot of my creeps, as I actually missed a few CS here and there, unfortunately. I didn't CS perfectly in these early levels, which I wasn't too happy about, but as I said, all we got to do is get to level 3, and now we clutched up and we got most of the CS on this wave, and so we're chilling. Ship out Windlace. The reason why I like shipping out Windlace right away over Boots is you get the movement speed faster, and that allows you to use the level 3 spike, right? I'm about to get my career right now, which I should have made a slot for, but if I shipped Boots, I wouldn't have gotten it at the same time as my level 3 spike, so I prefer just to have this potential timing where I get a little bit of extra movement speed. And you can see in a clip like right here, the Windlace helps me stick on top of the Marcy just a little bit. Unfortunately, as I said, she can pounce away from the E, but we're doing okay. The Marcy is beating me on CS by 2 and does have way more denies than me, but that's, as I said, that's okay. It is what it is. I'm not lasting perfectly, but it is what it is. From there, Nyx Assassin completely leaves the lane, like literally from here on out. I think he almost never comes back, and that's why we pick DP, right? Imagine we pick a hero in a game like this that doesn't sustain the lane. Like in a scenario where Fly is just clicking me with Rubik, if I'm like Visage, I would be screwed, right? Because I don't have an ability that if Marcy hops on me, I just beat her in the fight, right? Obviously that doesn't exist. But all I have to do is get level 5, and then when you're level 5 on DP, you zone people out. At level 3, you kind of can. It's not that reliable though. Like, I don't want to burn half of my charges, right? One of my charges, and then get it rebounded, right? I don't want the Marcy to be able to cancel it. But once I'm level 3, I'll always have like 2 charges, even if one gets disjointed. And 2 is like typically more than enough to just be fine if you get ganked or if they try to go on you. So at this point, I'm happy to like casually commit my E's, because as I said, like I'm going to have enough to deal with ganks. And that's why I really like playing for the 5 timing in these harder lanes. And you can see once I hit level 5, I can kind of just arteezy. I don't even have to tank the tower. I hit him like a couple times here, but all I have to do now is kind of look to get the lane back and then E him when he walks up. And that's it, right? I'm going to start aggro with denying, because Marcy as a hero cannot jungle. So all I have to do is just not push the wave and then deny. Unfortunately, the wave under tower there, which kind of sucked. But yeah, just push him off the creep wave. And it's very simple gameplay, very effective gameplay. Earth Spirit ends up coming over here. We get a nice Earth Spirit kill. Okay, very nice. But yeah, what is the Marcy doing now, right? She has to, so she has to go pull, which is fine. It's not bad for him, but this is not what Marcy wants to be doing. He's pulling, and you can see arteezy is like pinging the creep wave. He's like, I can't farm, right? There's just like a creep wave stuck under the tower. So he's trying to block, right? He's doing everything he can to get the wave back to him, because he knows he can't fight into the siphon. He also has to be afraid that I'm level 6 now. So basically they're trying to gank me because he can't lane. And that's a big thing I identified that I think enabled me to win my lane and my game, because at this point I do pass him on net worth, even though he's beating me on CS. I'm able to beat him overall in the back half of this lane, and it sets up for a good level 6 timing. I have a pretty good item timings as well. I pick up my magic wand. I always pick up one on this hero, and they end up making a move. They missed the rebound. I don't think it would have changed anything at all. I think that rebound hitting wouldn't have done anything. Maybe he lives here if he hits the rebound. I don't know, but I certainly wouldn't have died. So this was just a horrible play from EG. And yeah, I think it's just, yeah, we had the last pick counter pick. This hero is very good against Marcy at some point in the lane. And because I stabilized the wave, it changed things. And I think a lot of players don't understand that. Like, you have to know when the enemy can't jungle. If they can jungle, you don't shove the wave into them. Like, you don't need to take the tower. I'm not going to take the tower at level 5. I'm not going to take, even at level 6, I'm not just going to, like, I have to be weary about just walking up to the tower without teammates. Now here I end up getting ganked, but I had max siphon, and I literally told my team here, guys, please TP. Like, we saw them running at me with 4 heroes, and I said, please TP. Like, please be ready to fight. They're going to go on me, I'm not going to die. So I see this wall, I'm like, oh shit. So I turn, I don't get hit by the wall, I don't get hit by the roll, and now I get this max siphon off, and max siphon gives you 600 health, guys. So unfortunately, they do end up getting a good amount of damage onto me. This is actually surprising. I think I took a little bit too long with my E here. I could have clicked it slightly faster, which would have maybe kept me alive, and that would have been huge. Maybe a slight misclick on my part. It is what it is, though. Really not the end of the world. And I also could have bought raindrops, I guess, because then there's like no way I die. And that's another cool item you can buy. You can buy early raindrops. Wand and raindrops are the items you buy to like own the early game. Now I end up TPing top here. The bot wave was kind of pushed in. And we felt that we can kind of like, I don't know, I guess maybe I could have TP'd bottom. It's hard to say. Like, this is where I'm actually not very sure. It just felt convenient. Like, I could kind of take this area. At this point, I don't bully out Marcy that easily. I guess TPing bottom would enable me to, like, Marcy would probably just TP top though, right? Did she have TP? If Marcy didn't have TP, perhaps I'm supposed to be bottom. Nah, she has TP the whole time. So really, if I kick her out of bottom, she's just going to go top. I don't think it changes that much. So honestly, I think going top and just free farming my mech here is fine. I should have shipped my mech out a little bit earlier, but yeah, we're just kind of chilling. We're not looking to do anything crazy. We're kind of just waiting for our Nick 6, and then we already took the mid tower and the bot tower, so we don't really have anything truly to do. This was actually a big play. My team, I think, told me that they were coming top. I had a vibe as well, but I think my team told me that they were coming top. And oh no, we started on the ward, yeah. So I see them coming on the ward, so like I farm up the rest of the camp and then I just get out. And I'm okay to just give up this tower. My team is going for smoke gang bottom, which didn't catch arteezy, unfortunately. But they're able to make their way all the way to top. So just a little bit of patience. We end up catching the Rubik eventually, right? So a little bit of patience. I don't get caught top. It's a big, it goes a long way. It goes a long way. As crit feeds me his courier. What a beast. And yeah, I go back to pushing in top. I'm going to prevent the Darkseer from farming up here as well, right? My presence here in this lane prevents Darkseer from having much of a good time. He can't take any of the neutral creeps because I'm going to take them away from him. Then we end up taking a 5 mid. I TP'd in to try to save my Pango. I got the mech off, but unfortunately couldn't get the roll off. However, we did kill the Earth Spirit, and this was honestly a bad fight. This was just like our most important hero died. Pango is our early game tempo hero. He is like the core of our fight early on, so I ended up popping Exo, but this was probably just a bad fight. We ended up killing the Bat Rider, so it wasn't too bad. Definitely wasn't too bad. It's a big kill into the Bat, but it was overall net negative. And it just mainly stemmed with them catching Pango. It is what it is. Sometimes you get caught, someone gets caught out of position. Perhaps I shouldn't have responded, but, I had the mech. I thought maybe I could save him, which, almost was the case, so it's not bad. I ended up TPing bottom here. Reason why is I just wanted to push it all the way out. We didn't feel like we were going to go for any sort of Roche play yet, and they can't Roche. They literally can't. I held my TP, so as long as I have TP up here, I mean down here, I'm fine with being here, right? And you can see I also wanted to shift back to mid, so I don't stay bottom because my team's making a play top. So I know staying bottom is kind of risky. I could die to a smoke gank, so I moved to mid. I see the Batrider bottom, so I'm like, all right, there's no way I'm going to die mid. And then we actually end up bumping into smoke gank here, and like, I don't know how I knew. How did I know? I would have sworn I knew, like I specifically knew that they were coming. I actually don't know, but like, yeah, I don't know. Because the Batrider was showing bottom. How did I know that this was happening? Because they're clearly hunting. I honestly am not sure. I'm like, I don't remember. I usually remember all my decisions. I actually don't remember that one. Maybe I was just running to go Roche? I don't think so, though. I'm pretty sure I remember specifically. Maybe someone said they smoked. Like, they got a glimpse of a smoke. But yeah, we ended up going for Roche here. We were 5k up and feeling strong. It's as simple as that. And we have a great Roche comp. We have a comp that can take Roche without taking damage from Roche. And that's a big deal because if you try to take Roche and you get like half HP on 3 heroes, then you can lose the fight because of it, right? But because we have Treants and Tombstone, that's not necessarily going to happen. And then my team gets a great pick, moves on the Nyx Assassin, beasting it up here, finding the Darks here on the hill, and we get a free Roche. And that's massive, right? Roche on Furion is huge. This was probably our best call of the game. I don't know who made the call. I think honestly this is a beast mode play from Moose again on our Nyx. Our Furion TV's bottom with Aegis, but we had a feeling that they were bottom. Like Dinam was like, I think Dinam said that they might try to kill him bottom. And so the Nyx pre-TPs, like before they even go on him, he TPs. And because he's here, like yes, they get the Aegis right away, but they had to commit really hard for it, obviously. And because we pre-TP'd, we end up catching the bat, right? So even if we lose the Aegis, we trade Aegis for a back kill, that's okay, but we end up getting way more than that. We find Fly on the back, and then I have no clue why Saberlight turned around here. I have no clue. That was kind of weird, I'm not gonna lie. But we kill him as well. And then, oh, they make a great play and kill our Furion. They actually owned us there. That was like a nasty play. They got like, fortunately Marcy didn't get the kill. Crit got the kill, which is like definitely better because like Marcy BKB is their timing this game. They need that shit. So thankfully Ear Spirit got the kill. All right, at this point we're level 12. We're kind of strong. So like you can see me pushing on mid wave. I'm like a little cautious about doing it, but I sort of want them to go on me at this point. My build is designed to like have me get gone on and live. And as I said earlier, I think my hero doesn't really die to their heroes. It's hard, right? They have to do it really perfectly to burst me. Like if they're not flawless, if they're not perfect, they just can't really burst me. And it kind of is what it is. Like, so they apparently had a high ground ward here. I didn't know. Obviously we actually were setting up on arteezy under the tower, funny enough. So I think this was better than us going on arteezy, but they go on me and they try to burst me, but we just respond so well. The Rolling Thunder onto 2, just too good, right? It's as simple as that. They vessel me, they napalm me, but that's all gonna get dispelled in a moment. Pop the Greaves, and now it's just GG. Double Siphon instantly. Anytime you're getting gone on his DP, your instant reaction is Wand, and then Siphons. Wand is slightly faster, has no cast time than Siphons. I didn't Wand because I wasn't gonna die. That was very clear to me. Oh, Greaves is fast too. So Greaves, Wand, and Siphons. But yeah, I popped the Exo. I wasn't sure if they would disengage fast enough where I wouldn't need the Exo, but then they kind of seemingly looked like they were going to commit a tad, if that makes sense. Because I could clearly tell once they commit Lasso, Rebound, Fade Bolt, Earn, Roll on me, and I don't die, I'm like, the fight's over. It's done. Because you've casted all your spells, and now you're getting chain stun. It's done. The only reason I would want to use Exo is if I think I'm going to get multiple kills. I knew the fight was over right after they missed their initiation. It's just kind of how it goes. So yeah, I only popped the Exo because they kind of committed, and I saw that I could get on top of the Darkseer and take him out. And we got a quick tier 2 out of it, which is nice and makes it very convenient. And then I TP mid. I want to push it out, and I want to keep map control, right? I want to make sure that that our creep waves are pushed in. Now, at this point, we're kind of just chilling, really. We're like sort of waiting Exo. Actually, no, we don't chill. I think we actually don't chill. We do the opposite of that. We just like run at them. I think we push out mid and then smoke. I think. Oh, this was a great call from Moose. Honestly, or was this Red? Who TP'd first? It's probably that person. It was Red. Red is just like, what is arteezy doing here? He was actually so correct as well. He was just like, why is arteezy hitting this tower or something like that? And he was right. He doesn't have BKB. I didn't see it at first, so it was a really great call. But he's right. arteezy didn't have BKB. And he's like committing for the tower. I don't know if he thought that we just wouldn't make the play. Something, I don't know. But good read from Red. Like really nice stuff. Moose catches the Rubik on the back. It's a beautiful double kill, and now they're going to lose all their map control again. So we're able to clear up the mid wave. Notice that I'm not sticking with my team that much. It's just because like they're kind of the kill squad. I'm more of like the show up late guy and push out the dangerous waves. I'm the tanky guy who just can like push out the creep waves that people don't want to. That's my job this game. And then like walk in front of them in team fights. That's about it. All right, at this point, I think we were considering playing for the tier 2, but really our main objective is Roche. Also, in terms of items, I was very much unsure what to buy next. I ended up going for Pipe, and it's not really a hard thing to understand. It's, you know, they have 4 heroes that are purely magical. It's also not that bad against Marcy. Her ulti pulses, you know what I mean? So it's just a good Pipe game. My only thought here is that maybe Marcy still can burst through me. So perhaps I should buy a Ghost or a Yule's, or maybe a Blink to like try to get past her or around her. So I considered buying another item to address the Marcy. I felt that even without a Pipe, I wouldn't die to magic, but I was like, okay, it will just prevent Nyx from dying to like roll plus shell. You know what I mean? And that was kind of my thought process. It'll prevent Pango from being bursted by like a bat lasso plus like roll. And I think that's, for me, that was like good enough because I do have kind of squishy high impact heroes like this Nyx and this Pango. They are kind of heroes that can get bursted if they get caught. So I felt that the Pipe and the Greaves would be enough to like prevent that play from being as reliable. But yeah, at this point, we kind of just run across and catch them. It was a great play. We show bottom to kill the tower, and then we just find them in the jungle. We like really catch them off. We play this really well and really fast. So we get a free tier 2 off this. And at this point, we kind of just need to get Roche and then the game is over, or like in a really great spot. However, the Roche fight's going to be a big thing here. The Roche fight, if it goes wrong, if it goes poorly, could actually be a disaster in not the end of the game for us, but it could allow them to come back into this match. So we're going to clear up the mid wave. As I said, I'm the guy who does this. Pango helps me out from far range, but they don't want to go on me. They really don't. They will die if they go on me. I'm going to get soul ripped, stuns are going to come out, I'm not going to die, and they're going to feed. So we decay and nuke out the mid wave, and their waves are just completely screwed. They have to show to clear the waves. So we know exactly where they are. They're in their base. And now we can look for Roche. We're going to clear up the camps while we wait for Roche, just being efficient. We're going to look back to the mid wave and Roche respawns. So we actually don't instantly go here. This was really high skill on our part. I think this is one of our best plays of the game too, because we know that they could be coming and we don't want to get like 5-man vacuumed into some BS, even though they really don't have great vacuum synergy. They really don't actually. It's like rebound, which is really hard to do. We just kind of have to wait for the smoke. We knew they were going to smoke. It's like, they kind of have no choice. They have to smoke. And the reason why they have to smoke is like, you can't give us Roche. If you give us Roche, you're probably just going to lose. We're just going to control the map. Fioran's going to complete a Satanic and we're going to go high ground, something like that. But yeah, we take a fight here, go in, pop my hood just so I'm not going to get bursted. Don't want to instantly pop Greaves, just pop the hood, just to be safe, right? I don't want to get exploded, but we go in, Earth Spirit dies. We pop the Exo, we pop the Tombstone, but that's okay because it's next to the Roche pit. So 1 kill is a big deal. It's not a bad play from, honestly, the side of... from Shopify. They get Exo and they get like some big spells out of us and they have the buyback. So it's really actually was pretty high skill from them. However, we were able to kill the Roche in time. We have a very good Roche comp. And you can see the Marcy, even though she is, okay, 7k gold behind the Furion, she wins that man fight if she's able to walk up. Like, that's just how it works, which is why Marcy's definitely good against Prophet. Like, no doubt. I totally respect their pick. However, eventually her BKB wears out. He got the Aegis. She tries to turn here, but I have Halberd, I have the Siphon, and we're able to take her down. The Marcy dies, Rubik dies on the back, we catch Darkseer. I think we TP and catch one more. No, we don't. And yeah, this is where the game was just kind of over for them. I think they take one more fight, but 19k lead with a team that's very good at going high ground, it's going to be hard for them to stop us. Their high ground defense also is not the best. Lasso is great, but it's on cooldown, and we have Carapace, and I think he didn't go BKB. That's like really hard for him to actually make that happen. Oh yeah, they take another fight here. It was just kind of a game of us reading their smokes. We like really didn't get caught off guard by them at all this game, which I think was like really, I don't know, it's like an awesome feeling for us because usually what happens against these pro teams is you can beat them in the lanes sometimes because, you know, the lanes you constantly repeat it. You know what I mean? There's like way less variance in the laning stage. And so it's easier for people to learn the lanes. And so you can like beat good players in the lanes. Not always. Usually you're going to lose against better players, obviously. But usually in the mid game is where things get weird. It's just like small decisions or overall game plan. But as I was saying, we just didn't really get caught off guard. So like we end up getting a roll onto multiple heroes. Unfortunately, the replay is bugged out. But we get the roll onto multiple heroes. The Nyx assassin tanks the gank and he doesn't die. I mean, this was kind of crazy. You could tell this is how like nervous they are, right? Because they like make this smoke play, but they bump into Nyx. And they don't want to go on him because like Bat doesn't have blink, so like I guess he wants to go on him, but Bat doesn't have blink, so like Bat is nervous to go in, and they kind of have to go on the Nyx there, I think, and they have to have the right heroes in position to burst him, but they just don't. The heroes were just not there, and yeah, It's also, you know, it's a bad game when your Darkseer has to buy BKB. That is a feels bad, man. For sure. Which he certainly does. I totally agree with his BKB purchase. I don't know how you play this game without BKB as Darkseer. You're going to get Carapace and mana burn and run out by DP. It's really tough. Gleipnir, you know, it's a tough game as a Darkseer. Very hard to kite in and out. But yeah, that's going to be about the... I don't know if this is the end of the game. I think they take one more fight and then they call it. So we got the Greaves finish up. Got Shard from Roshan. I don't really prioritize the Shard. I don't think it's that good nowadays. It's okay. It's not that good. But yeah, we just have to not get caught off guard and smoke. That's it. So that's all we do. We smoke it up. We just felt that, hey, as long as they don't get the jump, we'll be fine. So we find the Marcy. We get a bash on the Swash, which sets up for next stun. So we toss out our E. Interesting thing about DPE is it actually goes through BKB, including the damage. So I can stick on top of the Marcy here. My E is going to actually do quite a bit of damage to her before it eventually wears out. So yeah, we get the jump onto the Marcy. They kill Undying. Who cares? Costed them Marcy. Costed them the Earth Spirit. And yeah, that's the end of the game. There's no damage. There's no way they're killing us through the Greaves pipe. It's way too much resistance. Our Pango's too farmed. Our Nyx is too farmed. We have an Undying behind everyone. I really think everyone played great this game. I think the Undying won his lane really hard. And just like this hero in general, I think is so underrated. Because it's not only a lane dominator, it does so much in the mid game. Like his ability to just run in and tank. He had some clutch heals throughout the game, which I didn't bring up because, you know, I can't talk about everything. But he had some clutch heals throughout the game. The Nyx Assassin set up like so many damn plays. I think the Pango just carried the early game. With me, you know, obviously with my help. I don't know, I just felt like I obviously DNM did his job. He's top net worth by like a bajillion. And I was happy with myself. This just felt like a clean game. I didn't overplay the lane. My first Exo got a lot of value, got a Marcy kill. Shut down arteezy in the lane when I hit my timing, you know what I mean? I think I understood the matchup in that regard. And we took Roche at the right times. I just felt like this was a game where we executed what we wanted to do extremely well. And something to be proud of. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for sharing this moment. Yeah, I always appreciate your guys' support. And yeah, I just want to say thanks for enabling me to make videos for a living and play Dota for a living. I do feel blessed that my fans and you guys help me to do that. It really is a blessing. So thank you. Thanks for all the support in the Twitch chat as well. I see you guys. And hopefully I'll see you guys in a major as a player one day. That's the goal. And I'll see you soon. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.